Alright, today I have a review of Apollo 18 on DVD. This is not the 5th sequel to Apollo 13, just so you know. Alright, the packaging on this, just your basic DVD packaging. It says Apollo 18, there's a reason we never went back to the moon. And the only quote on here is terrifying. This film will shock you to your core. From Fred Topple of CraveOnline.com. I mean, get a more popular place to get a quote from. And this is 87 minutes long in Dolby Digital 5.1 and a 1.78 anamorphic widescreen. I just kind of wanted to read the description of the movie or whatever. This is on the back. Officially, Apollo 17 launched December 7th, 1972, was the last manned mission to the moon. But 2 years later, in December of 1974, 2 American astronauts were sent on a secret mission to the moon funded by the Department of Defense. What you're about to see is the actual footage which the astronauts captured on that mission. While NASA denies its authenticity, others say it's the real reason we've never gone back to the moon. I just want to get that, talk about that a little bit later. Let's talk about the cast. Warren Christie, Lloyd Owen, and Ryan Robbins. Basically, this movie only has 3 people in it. There are other people at the beginning, and you do hear some of their voices, but basically it's just about the 3 guys who go to the moon. Okay, the plot. Like I said and like I read, Department of Defense decides to send these 3 guys to the moon, and it's top secret, and they don't know why, nobody knows that they went. And this is kind of what I didn't understand, because I had never even heard of this movie other than seeing that it came out. My dad was like, oh, I have Apollo 18, so we watched it, and it says this is the footage. Now obviously this isn't actual footage because the 3 guys are actors, so I mean, I didn't really necessarily understand that. I mean, this is the thing Hollywood's kind of gotten obsessed with, is making these fake documentaries, and I don't understand why. It was pretty confusing because, I mean, what are they basing this off of? Are they just making a movie and pretending like, oh yeah, there's a theory out there, or is there a real theory that there was Apollo 18? You know, I've never heard of it, so okay. And while they're there, they find out the Russians were there, and they find things keep happening. The flag disappears, their rover gets flipped, their communications keep getting cut out, and I don't want to go too far into like the things that happen because that would give away any suspense of the movie. I mean, this movie is a lot like this movie's a lot like Paranormal Activity, where you're just looking at cameras and nothing's going on in front of them. So, I mean, this movie was kind of boring until towards the end when stuff starts happening. But even then, it wasn't that good of a payoff. You don't really know what's going on. It's pretty confusing, and so I didn't think it was that great. The visual quality on this, I mean, there's no way really to judge it because they're trying to simulate different types of video cameras, and it's going back and forth between full screen and widescreen, and kind of the rounded off corners like the old TVs, and you know, really fuzzy pictures and clearer pictures, and then there's some pictures that seem like they're super clear, and you know, it just keeps jumping around. And I even said that when I was watching it, I was like, why can't they just keep it in full screen? Why does it have to keep going back and forth, full screen and widescreen, and being pretty annoying. And then let's talk about special features. There was deleted and alternate scenes. There were 17 total, and they're pretty useless. The last couple, though, are about, because 2 guys went to the moon and 1 guy stayed in orbit, and you don't really ever see him very much in the whole movie, and so they had a whole bunch of deleted scenes of just him, like how he's going, oh, how he's coping with being in orbit by himself and everything. I thought those were interesting, but other than that, nothing useful. And they had 4 alternate endings, and those were all pretty decent. I thought those were worth watching. So I guess overall for the score on this movie, I'm just gonna give it a 2 out of 5 because it was pretty boring till towards the end. The video was just like driving me crazy, and you know, I don't really understand. I don't understand this movie. Like, it would have been better if they just were like, didn't even put this whole thing about how it's supposed to be based on a true story, or they don't say true story, but I don't know. It's just like to confuse people, I think, and make you think it's real when it's not. And I mean, how many more of these are they gonna make? Why are they gonna keep trying to make people think these movies are real when they're not? So I'm also starting a new thing where I'll talk about the ending and more in depth of some of the twists or the plots, and I'll put an annotation on the screen. If you'd like to check out that video, feel free to comment on it and let me know what you think, and feel free to comment on this one if you liked the movie or you didn't like the movie or what you thought of the review. Thanks for watching.